Hey, you all. Welcome back to Monday's Muse, your weekly wellness dose. Now, today you are in for a treat as always. I know I say that every single week, but I really mean it because we always have co-hosts, and today we have two. So it's going to be me along with a sweet couple that I know that are both in wellness to some degree. And just know that you're in for a treat. So as we wait for them to join, I want to first tell the Black History fact of the month. So as we know, February is Black History Month. I've been focusing on featuring someone in history that has, paved the way for all of us today. And today we're going to mention Dale Hale Williams. And I see that they're on here, but I sent a request. So, let me see. See if we can get them in. So as we wait, okay, we're going to mention Dale Hale Williams, as I just said. He is a Pennsylvania native that was one of the first physicians in the U.S. Hey, y'all. So I'm just talking about Dale Hale Williams. He was a Pennsylvania native, one of the first physicians in the U.S. to perform open heart surgery in 1893. And in 1891, he also founded the Provident Hospital and Training School for Nurses, the first racially integrated nursing and intern program in the U.S. So that definitely is worth mentioning. I like to try to find somebody in the health space that, has paved the way for all of us today. We wouldn't do it without them. Yeah, so thank you all for joining me today. I'm really, really excited to interview you. This is Nishel'le and Kaelin Dickerson. And just to kind of give you the background on them, their bio, she is an engineer and cosmetic chemist and former Rainbow Blossom natural food store manager and an expert in clean beauty formulations. So welcome to the show. And awesome. Kaelin is a marketing grad and computer science master's student who earned, that he's also earned. And he can't eat anything with gluten. So he has become an advocate for all things gluten-free and is also an Eat Bob's ambassador. So I will be putting his link in the bio when I post this for replay. So if you want to purchase and support Kaelin, I definitely encourage you to do so. But yes, a disclaimer that I always like to say is that we're not medical doctors. So anything that we say is based off of our personal experience and maybe knowledge that we've personally acquired. But you take our advice at your own risk. And of course, before doing anything, consult with your doctor if it's going to make some type of health change or something of that sort. So definitely make sure you do that. But yes, let's get into it. Let's get to business. Okay. So first of all, if y'all wouldn't mind to take turns and just tell maybe a little bit more about yourselves and why you are doing what you do today and how you met. I had to get a little bit personal because everybody wants to hear about it.
Makes sense.
So I'll go first. So Nishel'le, obviously. So I got my engineering degree at the University of Kentucky, actually in civil engineering, with some chemistry in there too. And then I'm also the founder and like a CEO of Catharos, which is a natural skin and hair care company founded by yours truly. So, and I founded that in 2017. And then, Kaelin.
I'm not as exciting. My name is Kaelin, obviously, as she said, marketing student, graduated in 2000 and, God, it's been a minute now, 2019. Almost 2 years. Yeah. Currently going for a master's in computer science. Love that stuff. I accidentally found out that I could not eat gluten. Kind of stumbled upon that and has been my life ever since, which was been a change, been a big change, very big change. And to kind of answer the question on how we met, high school psychology class.
Oh, wow.
Known this person for a long time.
So, but were y'all high school sweethearts?
Nope.
No.
Not at all.
We were really, really good friends. And then, like, college brought us apart. And then I moved back to Louisville and found this one. So
God.
Here we are. It was God. It really was.
And then now you're in Florida.
Exactly.
All over. That's awesome. Yes, you never know. You never know.
Yeah.
Okay, so another question for both of you all. As a power couple, out here doing your thing separately, you have to support each other. So obviously you all have two different visions because you have two different businesses. But what advice do you have for someone that maybe they are also the same, like they have a spouse or something that's doing something different from them? How can they be of support to their spouse and, while not getting too involved and letting each other stay in their own ways?
So, so I would say, like, just view it as, you know, we're empire building, like we're building everything together. So, like we each of us have our strengths and weaknesses. He's a marketing extraordinaire, and I'm really good at problem solving. So, like, I can stay in my own lane and say, hey, this is maybe he's going through a more complex problem. I can give some ideas, and then I'm like, ooh, I have an issue with marketing, and he can come in and help, and then go back to gluten free, and then the same. Same thing with Catharo. So I'm like, oh, problem solving. Okay, now I'm back to Catharos, but we're still, you know, building that same like foundation and structure for, you know, our empire.
Big facts, big
Team
facts.
Dickerson, like.
Big facts. And then also just want to say, if you're in a relationship as it is, it's built on support and love. Support the person you love. Like, they have a vision, you got the same vision. If they got to go, you have the same goal. If one sings, you both sing. So don't be afraid to. I know nothing about, well, I do now, about like beauty and health. I knew nothing about it, but it was her vision. So I was like, you know what? Time to Google and learn some things. So I could try to help her, and vice versa. If it weren't for her being able to cook, I'd be in danger, actually. I would have learned, but it took a minute.
Yeah, I agree. It's about supporting and knowing ultimately you're on the same team.
Yeah.
It's not a competition. It's not like a sprint. It's a journey, and you're doing life together. So be the person for them that you would want for yourself. Ultimately.
Amen.
You know, you know, I mean, that's what it's about. You know, I know how it is. Being Arnold, you know, but I love that answer. Great advice. So, Nishel'le, first question, individual question for you. Okay. Why did you pick the name Catharos?
Mm-hmm. So it's really simple. It means pure in Greek. So it just basically means there's nothing else. So pure as is, and that is what all my products are based off of. Very pure ingredients, very to the point, transparent. So
yeah,
that's it.
I love it. And it's not like, I feel like it's kind of is pronounced the way that it looks, right? So it's not so unique that people are like, I don't even know how to say that.
Exactly. But, so it's just Catharos. It's just like, okay, it makes somebody wonder, like, okay, what does that mean? Pure. Oh, okay, that's what I'm getting with my products. And it's just like, ding, ding, that's it.
Right. I love it. Okay, so obviously you have an engineering background. How do you feel that you could use that engineering background and entrepreneurship? I know it's funny, like a lot of people go to school for one thing, end up doing something completely different. Obviously there is some overlap, which is awesome. But how do you feel that has helped you, especially for those engineers that might want to do something different than maybe what they initially studied?
Yeah, so one of the big things is like with engineering, especially civil, like you take so many classes, and one of them, which I didn't expect when I first signed up for civil engineering, was I took a lot of chemistry classes. And I'm like, oh, wait, I actually really, really like this. So like took several chemistry classes, which gave me more of a foundation in just like chemistry for anything. Ended up being, for me, cosmetic chemistry. Who would have thought it? And then also the project like management and then problem solving goes into like entrepreneurship as well. So my like 9 to 5 was more like 5 to 5, but we won't go there. Every day I do like project management, so that helps me manage everything for my business. So I mean, I go from 5 to 5 managing construction projects, hospitals, etc. And it's just like, okay, now I can scale that down to my business, and it just makes the pieces come together. Mm-hmm. And then also just an engineering background, we're really focusing on data. So it's like, okay, what's the data telling us? What are the signals? And applying that to business is really important too, because now you can say, okay, this is what's really happening, and this is the improvement, and like just doing like gap analysis for business. So it's helped a lot.
Yes. And I mean, everything that she said, well, first, I just want to encourage those that might be watching or that will watch the replay that maybe they do have a 9 to 5, and maybe that isn't what they're really passionate about. Maybe they want to do something else. And if you do want to stay in your 9 to 5, that's totally cool too. Like, entrepreneurship is not for everyone. But just know that it is possible, because I mean, I know I was there. I was in that boat where I wanted to work for myself full time. And for whether it was fear on my side, which was my main thing, was fear of jumping out. Yeah. Know that when you take that leap, something's going to catch you. Like, you're going to be okay. I think you're going to have, like, there's more drive in you as a person, especially an entrepreneurial person, than you probably even know that you have. Mm-hmm. So you can do it. Just stick it out, tough it out, keep working. And all those things that you said, it sounds like more engineers probably need to be entrepreneurs, because all that stuff is really important. Knowing, coming up with a strategy to increase your profit 5% this year, or whatever your goals are. All of that stuff those are things that you need to know.
Yes, it
Going
is.
into entrepreneurship, it's not just like I create this and sell it and see if it
No.
takes off. No, there's a lot. You have many hats.
Exactly.
Many hats. So that is awesome. So Kaelin,
I got to follow that up. All right.
I know. Tell us about the time. Okay, this is really interesting. Tell us how you found out you were gluten free. I know you said it was like by surprise. So how did you discover this?
So there was a week where I was going to work and I was like bloated, in pain, sick, just sluggish. I felt like death for the entire week. And every day I was like, I have no idea what's going on. I don't like going to the doctor. I gotta put that out there now. My wife was like, go to the doctor. I'm like, I'm good. I'm just switch up what I'm eating. And we tried vegan. We tried no red meat, no chicken, fish. We took everything out except for bread. Every meal was either a biscuit or a roll. And I was like, I know, God, I haven't been the best, but please don't let it be this. And as soon as I eliminated bread from my everything, from eating whatever, I felt basically 100% better almost in about a week. And I was like, well, this is trash, because I love cookies, cupcakes, pies, cakes, anything that's sweet, baked, anything. I love it. So I accidentally found out about it.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So what is something that you discovered on your gluten-free journey that's actually been surprising to you?
A lot of things have gluten in it that you would never think. Twizzlers. Can't have Twizzlers anymore. And I love those. Pringles have wheat in them. Yeah, exactly. It's weird because it's like they're just potatoes. Just take my potatoes, slice them and fry them, or deep fry them. That's all you gotta do. Throw a little salt on them. I don't need wheat, but just that's one thing that really surprised me. Like I have to look at every little thing. I'm like, why? Why is there wheat in this? It makes zero sense. Some drinks, wheat's in it. Plant-based foods, wheat can be in it. And I'm just like, all right, I can't eat healthy now because the plant's got wheat in it. So it's like it's weird. It's really surprising when you realize what you can't have. You realize it's almost everywhere, and it's the weirdest thing ever. So
it is. I agree.
Yeah.
Between gluten, corn, and soy, it's like
Everywhere.
the food industry, which I won't even get into that right now.
That's take forever.
It's crazy how many things have gluten. And actually, with being back in school, I have learned so much about gluten and how really nobody's body can fully digest gluten. Some people will say, oh, I can.
See, fun thing is that I learned, obviously our wheat has evolved since it's back in the ancient days. Yes. Ancient times, maybe, but it's so GMO and so overprocessed, our body can't do it anymore. Right. And about 1% of the entire Earth's population has some type of either gluten sensitivity or might even be celiac, and we just don't know. We're like, oh, I'm lactose intolerant, or I just can't have red meat. It could be the gluten that's messed you up. That could actually be leading to a lot of this, and people don't know that. And I've told a lot of people, and it blows their mind every time I say it.
And it takes a long time for it to get out of your body. Like I coach people through Arbonne's 30 days, and one of the things you have to eliminate is gluten. They're like, how am I gonna? I'm like, look, now it's 2021. Yeah. There are so many alternatives that are like gluten-free that taste good.
Tastes amazing.
There's good pastas that are way more like healthy for you.
Yeah.
That taste just as good and everything now that you can find an alternative and you're gonna feel better. You're gonna bloating, all of that, fatigue, brain fog. I mean, it's crazy, and it's crazy how long it can take for it to actually get out of your system too.
I had it in my system for about 25 years, so yeah.
Compounding.
That was hard to get out.
Right. Wow. Okay, so question for you, Nishel'le. And this is kind of like not necessarily a zinger, but there's so many products on the market. Like, why did you decide to create your products too?
So ingredient transparency is really, really important to me. So like I was tired of spending hours and hours at like probably not hours. Maybe hours at like the local like stores and looking at ingredient labels and saying, okay, no, putting that down, picking something up, putting it down. And was just tired of going through that struggle every time I needed something for my hair or skin. So that was why I started it. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to make it myself because then I know exactly what's in it. And I know that it is for me, for my hair type, for my skin type. And I didn't have to like make a compromise because there were so many times where like I'd be looking for products and it's just like, oh, do I want this to give my hair the volume that I'm looking for? Or do I want it to like actually benefit my hair long run? So that's why I actually came up with all the formulations that I did.
That's awesome. And of course, I'm sure you know, but those that are watching and maybe watch the replay may not know that actually Black women are like the top consumers of wellness or like hair and beauty products. We buy the most. Like I was looking at my guest bathroom in the closet. I'm like, oh my God, I have so many like natural hair products. Like this is embarrassing. Like you try something like it doesn't work. So it just goes on the shelf, you know? What makes your product different? Are they gluten-free as well? Like what makes your product different and better to serve, this population of women?
There's not a compromise. It's not like okay, well, I really want my curls to be defined. So like if you go into the store, it's like, okay, well, I'm going to accept that there's alcohol or something in that product. So it's like, no, my curls are going to be defined because that's what it's made for. And I don't have to worry about all the other like toxins that come with those high performing products. So that's what makes it different.
Yes, it does. And people also, just to put this in more perspective, it's really, really important what you put on your skin, what you do. Because literally it's going into your bloodstream.
Instantly.
Like 20 seconds.
Yeah.
That quick. And I don't think people realize that. They're like, oh, well, I eat healthy. I go to the gym. This and that. But what are you putting on your skin? Because that makes just as much of a difference as taking care of the inside, because that's going inside as well. So definitely do your research. Yeah, like she's saying, it matters what's on the back. And it shouldn't be this long list of crap either. I mean,
no, it's crap.
I mean, seriously, it's like, if you can't pronounce it, then you probably shouldn't be eating it or putting it on you because it's not going to be great.
Exactly.
Yes. So, Kaelin.
Yes.
What sparked the idea of you starting this gluten-free still eating business?
It's gonna sound really rude. I'll put this. My family was not the most supportive. Let me put that out there right now. I love them, but like literally the first day I was like, oh, I can't have this anymore. I can't have gluten. Like my entire family looked at me like I was crazy. And it was a typical family barbecue with the fried chicken, the ribs, the greens, everything good, the cornbread. I'm like, I can't have it. And they wouldn't compromise. So I was like, look, guys, I'm going to go ahead and let y'all know that I can be gluten-free. I ain't got to kill myself. I can still eat good, too. And it was also kind of a declaration to myself, too. It was like, you can still eat what you love. You just got to work a little bit harder to get it. And it kind of kept going from there. I was like, I'm a marketing major. Might as well market myself, a little goofiness. And, try to turn this into a full-on life thing so I can at least help somebody. Whether it be by telling them, hey, you can have this or substitute that out. If I can give someone some type of information, somehow, some way, make their life easier and this gluten-free lifestyle of theirs, I've accomplished my goal at that point. So that's what really made me start this. I was like, I'm going to help somebody out because I knew zilch about anything. So just trying to give back, try to pay it forward a little bit.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you're doing a great job. Both of y'all are doing great. I love seeing it. Seeing your posts and everything. I've noticed recently some of the posts that you were putting up about like Black History Month, kind of about like, I think there was one about okra in particular that I thought was really
Yep. There's so many things when you start doing okay, this is definitely got to be American, especially in the South. Okra is as southern gets.
Right.
And it was like, it came over on the slave ships. They were hiding seeds in their hair and everything to bring a piece of the motherland with them. And when they got over here, they had nothing, so they were plain okra, getting the scraps they had, and that's basically where soul food came from. We had scraps and we turned it into something else. And I started really doing those posts just to show everyone that food comes from everywhere. Yes, it's focused on Black History Month because it's February, but everything I've learned, I'm talking from Africa, talking from Europe, France, Spain. I learned that jambalaya is a mix between the Creole version is from Africa and the other version is based in Spain, because both came over as the slaves came over, they had scraps. The Spanish came over in the French Quarter and trying to make paella. So they used what they had. Awesome. Food comes from everywhere, it ties everybody together. So Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's really cool.
Yeah, I've learned a lot in the past couple of weeks. So yeah,
That's awesome. Yes, I mean it's important to just I know piggyback on the Black History Month thing, but there's just so much out there. That's one thing. I've been doing this like challenge where I have to like read so much every day and all of that, and I decided I was going to read some different medical books that are related to Black history. So like one is about medicine and slavery, and one of them is called Medical Apartheid, and it talks about just testing that has been done on slaves and different people and just different things. And I'm reading a book right now that's about the Tuskegee syphilis trials and everything that happened for like 40 years. It's crazy. But it's good to know your history. I mean, you like that people say you can't necessarily keep going forward if you don't know where you came from. And
exactly.
It's good to research. I mean, it's so easy. Like takes a couple minutes to just find an article or find a YouTube video or a podcast or something. And
or just a random article. Like you just gotta, I tell everybody, just know where you came from, love who you are, love your heritage. Don't matter what your heritage is, just love it. You know, like you're here for a reason. You came from somewhere.
Absolutely.
Understand?
Absolutely.
Tie the history and present together. That's all you gotta do.
Right. Okay, so another question for you. Any tips for someone, maybe they're really upset because they just found out that they need to be gluten-free per doctor's orders. Maybe they're celiac now, or they have a really big sensitivity to gluten. What advice do you have for someone in that boat?
Listen to the doctor. That's the very first thing, just point blank, period. You may not like what they say, but at the end of the day, it's for your betterment. It's for your health, because celiac, and it doesn't just keep you from eating gluten, it destroys your body in general. It is an autoimmune disease. So if your doctor says, hey, you're celiac, cut it out, please just cut it out. There's no point in hurting yourself when you can get things that taste just as good or just as healthy for you. If you're like me, you accidentally found out about it and then went to your doctor late and they tell you just don't touch it, which is what I was told. They did no test. It was just like, you've gone this far not doing it, just don't do it. Continue on what you're doing. Just don't eat it. It's just that simple. If you can't have it, don't be greedy. Don't be bratty. Just don't do it. And I'm saying that, I'm really telling myself that too. Because
don't be a brat.
Like my wife will come in with a cheesecake. I'm like, I want this so bad. One little bite won't kill me, but it might. And it's like, I'm like, no, don't do it. Just, it ain't worth it, guys. Just keep the gluten out your system.
Right. And just look at the alternatives. I mean, seriously. Yeah. I mean, come on. There's so many.
There's a billion alternatives. Yuca, cassava, almond flour, rice flour, potato flour, anything plant-based. I had a pizza that had a sausage crust.
That was interesting.
Zero gluten in it, but a lot of sausage. So, I mean, you can find alternatives.
Right. That is too funny. Okay, so Nishel'le. And I know we kind of touched on this before, but maybe in more detail. Maybe there is an engineer out there that has different passions and they really have the entrepreneurial bug and they want to get started, but maybe something is holding them back. Like from your perspective, I'm assuming engineers tend to be like way more just analytical and like they process their things. And, you know, if it doesn't make, they're not emotional, put it that way. They're not going to be like really emotionally minded and swayed by their emotions. What advice would you give that person?
So my advice would be stop overthinking and just do it. Like entrepreneurship is not as methodic as engineering. It's just not. This isn't like calculus 4 differential equations. It's following your passion, loving it, and putting your strengths into it. Like, so that's the first thing, just stop. Like, I think that my business really took off when I said, okay, you know what? I'm just going to launch this as is and not let good, like, perfect be the enemy of good. So
yes,
just launch it.
Yes.
So
that's really good what you said about perfect, because I was reading, I think, one of the books that I read this year, and he talked about the first product that you release or the first business or whatever. It doesn't have to be perfect for you to launch, because it's not going to be. I mean, it's the first version. If you think about Apple, when they released the first iPad, it was good enough. It wasn't perfect. And they continue to make changes and tweaks until, you know, they got the iPad Pro and they keep coming out with different versions and Retina display and all the different things. They add different things to make it better over time. But if you don't start, then you're always going to be held back by fear and this level of perfection that's no one can attain ever. So yes, I agree. Like you have to just go for it. You have to do it.
Exactly. It's like the second like iteration is always going to be better. And there's like a cycle that I actually coach a lot of my like engineering teams on. It's a plan, do, check, adjust cycle. So you have to plan it, then you have to do it, and then you check and adjust. And that's what actually keeps everything going. And the same thing goes for, you know, being an entrepreneur.
Yes, I love that. Okay, so Kaelin, what comments do you hear pretty often that relate to being gluten-free that are not correct, that maybe you want to debunk?
Got a few of them.
He's ready.
A little bit won't hurt. That's fallacy. Gluten-free things are gross. That's also false. And if it's organic, it must be good for you, even though it has gluten in it. That too is falsehood. A few different. And it's one that killed me with my family was it'll pass. No, it won't. If it just came out of nowhere and hit my body, I don't think it's gonna pass. I think I'm kind of stuck in this lifestyle now. So yeah.
Right. That's true. A little, man. What are they like? I think there's like the saying or something like a little leaven spoils the whole loaf or whatever. Like, why do that? If you know, I was literally talking to someone about this yesterday. And I was like, you know, I've recently found out something that doesn't serve my body well. So I'm not going to eat it. But it wasn't easy for me to get to this mindset. I think, you know, it takes time. But, you know, if you are having allergies or you're having this bloating and this pain and this fatigue and stuff, your body's telling you that for a reason. You're feeling this for a reason. So something needs to change. And if not, it's like you're killing yourself. You're literally killing yourself with all these, every allergic reaction, every allergy, like attack, if you will, is not good, and it's wreaking havoc on your body systems.
And it's quite literally killing you at that point. Like, just
little by little.
Stop it. And don't be stubborn. Like, that's another issue. My family's stubborn. We're the typical, in our community, and I know in the Black community in general, we're really stubborn, period. And so for me to be able to say, you know what, I'm going to listen and not be as stubborn, that was hard for me to do too. Because I had some people like, oh, you be fine. Oh, you're just on a new diet. Nah, people know me. I don't diet. I eat. And so this ain't a fad, guys. This is life now. So if you're stubborn, don't do it. Just cut it out. Don't kill yourself.
Right. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
You know, I've been saying this so much lately that it's not necessarily about, I mean, you want to live long, okay? We want to live long lives.
Yeah.
But it's about quality of life. It's about the quality of living to a good old age. You don't want to be 90 years old and you can't walk and you can't see and you can't hear and you got one tooth and you know, I mean, it's like
that's like quick.
That's how life works.
Like,
I mean,
it's about quality of life. You want to be older, but you want to be able to take care of yourself and you know, live well and as well as you can. You know, I understand things happen to people, but I think a lot of stuff can be prevented, or at least tried.
Big facts.
Prevented, yes. Yes, so I always like to kind of end on like a fun fact. So what would you say that y'all's fun fact is? Y'all have some fun facts?
Wife first.
Okay, so when I'm not in a construction hat or wearing my chemist hat, I'm usually boxing. So that is my hobby.
That's awesome. Y'all, you go to like a
Title. Yeah, we go to Title.
Oh, okay, yeah, they have that here. Okay.
So yeah.
We be boxing.
And yeah, it's a great workout and it's amazing. I love it. Good like for the mental too. So yeah.
Yes.
It's my fun fact.
She took my fun fact. Obviously
We like boxing. It's also like a weird like it hasn't become like a date night thing.
It has. It kind of has, because we're always both doing something, whether it's she's working or I'm trying to build some silly program for school. We don't really see a lot of each other, despite the fact that we're in Florida, so the state's open. But it shouldn't be. But we're in the house a lot. I don't put that there. It should not be open. We're in the house a lot. And even though we're like right next to each other, like in two different rooms, we don't see each other a lot. Like I'm literally glued to my computer talking about, nah, this line don't work. This line doesn't work. And she's telling people how to do their job. So it's kind of a date night thing now. And when we go boxing. So it's a date night.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Three times a week.
Boxing it's fun. I want to try that out. Title.
Do it.
Fun. will not kick in until about month 3. I'm gonna let you know that now.
It's fun.
I'm gonna let you know that now. It's the first 3 months.
That's funny.
Oh my.
Yeah. So is it like do you have bags like that you punch and all that? Okay, because I don't like the ones that are like open air punch.
Oh no.
Yeah, no.
Title will teach you how to fight. Like they will actually teach you the correct techniques, how to get away, how to block, how to slip. You can do MMA, you can do kickboxing. They teach you that if you're gonna fight, you're gonna know how to fight. But it's really just for exercising purposes.
Yeah.
But you get to exercise on somebody if they try to pick with you. So
you get to fight if you want to.
Exactly.
To talk to smack to somebody and then you get to
See, I think I'm too gentle. I wouldn't want to hit nobody. I'm like, bro, can we just not? Like, can we just not? Can we just skip this part? All right.
So, okay. Thank you all, first of all, so much again.
Thank you
For allowing me to interview you. And yes, this replay will be available. I'm going to put their links to their sites and everything in the caption so that you can purchase, so that you can follow along. But before we go, how can people stay in touch with you all? And I know they have some merch that you can buy, some shirts and different things. Where do they go for that?
So all my products are available on catharos.us, and then you can find me on Instagram. So it's catharos_LLC. So you have all my products and good stuff. And then there's also some cool like DIYs. So the website's built like a community. So there's DIYs that you can like download for just skin or hair remedies. So yeah.
Awesome.
On Instagram at glutenfree_still eating, because for some odd reason I couldn't put it all together. Don't know why. If you're curious about any type of merch, if you're gluten free or you know someone gluten free out there, I don't know if you can see, you got the gluten free still eating shirt on with the Dragon Ball Z inspired font. So if you're an anime nerd along with gluten free, hey, I got you. Got a couple masks on there too. Mask up, guys, stay healthy. But the link is in the bio. So click on that, browse what's on there, and represent the gluten free community.
Yes, well, thank you all so much, and I wish you all much success. And it's already happening. It'll continue to happen. But yes, thank you all for tuning in. And of course, the replay will be up very soon. As always, this is your weekly wellness dose. Until next week, see y'all later.
See everybody.
Bye. Yes, thank you all so much for joining. How fun they are. But real quick before we go, I just wanted to chat with you all about a couple deals that we have going on. So as you know, Valentine's Day is Sunday. And if you order with the qualifying order, we're actually offering free sign up. So you get free preferred client sign up or free independent consultant sign up with a qualifying order. Maybe you have a gal pal, best friend, mom, sister, girlfriend, wife, cousin, a birthday, whatever's coming up. We have lots of options for your hair, for your body, for your skin, whether it's skincare or makeup, as you can see on the screen. Lots of different bundles that I can help you put together. There's no requirement for orders monthly. You don't have to pay any type of auto ship. You order when you would like to, whatever you would like to. So I would love to answer any questions for you, put together a customized bundle, or maybe you are gluten-free. All of Arbonne's products are actually gluten-free, so that's a great thing. All the skincare, all of our nutrition, our hair care, everything is gluten-free. So you don't have to worry about having some type of weird reaction if you are supposed to be gluten-free as well. So let me know if you'd like me to send you a sample. We have amazing nutrition, just awesome products all around. I use our skincare, I use our nutrition, everything, our body care. And it's been amazing for me and my family to create sustainable, healthy lives. So I hope that you got something out of this show today, but next week we're going to have another amazing guest. Courtney is his name, and he is also in wellness as a personal trainer with a whole team. We're going to chat with him, and I'm going to also be posting some more Black History facts every single day throughout this month. So I hope that you'll join us next week at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Until next time, your weekly wellness dose is Victoria. Have a great day. Bye.